Welcome back to your go-to channel for uncovering the fascinating history and value of coins from around the world. Today, we're diving into a piece of American history, the 1976 USA 1-cent coin. Stay tuned as we explore its design, mintage, historical context, and its current circulated value. Start with the obverse, or the front, of the 1976 penny. This side features the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Did you know this design has been in use since 1909? It's one of the longest-running designs on any .S coin. Above Lincoln's head, you'll see the word Liberty, and to the right, the date 197 UX. Look closely and you might also spot the small mint mark under the date, a D for Denver, or no mint mark for Philadelphia. These details are important when determining the coin's origin and value. Flipping over to the reverse side, we find the Lincoln Memorial, which was introduced on the penny in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. If you look carefully at the memorial, you can even spot a tiny engraving of Lincoln seated inside. This incredible detail showcases the artistry of designer Frank Gasparro. 1976 was a special year for the United States. It marked the independence. While other coins like the quarter, half dollar, and dollar had special powers, this little coin still holds historical significance. Now, let's talk numbers. In 1976, the U.S. Mint produced an astounding 4.6 billion pennies in Philadelphia and 4.2 billion in Denver. That's nearly 9 billion pennies in total. With such a high mintage, these coins were meant to serve bicentennial designs. The humble penny retained its standard look. But don't let that fool late widely, which is why they're still commonly found today. But what about its value? In circulated condition, a 1976 penny is worth just 1 cent. Why? Because it's neither rare nor made of precious metals. However, if you have an uncirculated or mint condition penny, it could fetch 10 to 20 cents from collectors. Special examples, like those with errors or die varieties, can be worth even more. Keep an eye out for error coins. For example, a double die or an off-center strike can significantly boost a penny's value. Some rare errors from 1976 have sold for hundreds of dollars. Here's another fun fact about the 1976 penny. It's made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This composition was used for U.S. pennies until 1982, when the rising cost of copper forced the mint to switch. Means that a 1976 penny has more intrinsic metal value than modern pennies, especially when copper prices are high. However, it's still illegal to melt pennies for their copper content in the United States. If you're a collector, here's what to look for. First, examine your penny's condition. Is it shiny and free of scratches? The better the condition, the higher the value. Finally, always check for errors. Small details can make a big difference in value. Curious about market trends? On online auction sites like eBay, 1976 pennies in circulated condition often sell for 1 to 2 cents in bulk. Uncirculated examples can go for up to $1, while rare error coins may reach much higher prices. So it's always worth checking your pocket change. Even though the 1976 penny isn't a jackpot find, it's still a piece of American history that connects us to the bicentennial era. Coin collecting is not just about the monetary value. It's about the stories these small pieces of metal carry, country on the world stage. It was also a time when Canadians were celebrating their heritage and taking pride in the nation's symbols, including the iconic beaver depicted on the 5-cent coin. The 1976 nickel continued the Royal Canadian Mint's tradition of producing high-quality currency, with the minting process refined over decades of experience. Since the early 20th century, Canada had gradually shifted to producing coins that were increasingly distinctive and representative of Canadian culture. By the 1970s, the Mint had firmly established its reputation for producing coins with detailed and meaningful designs. While the beaver had been on Canadian 5-cent coins since 1937, The 1976 version stood out as part of a broader effort to modernize Canadian currency. The obverse portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which had been introduced in 1965, was the one most widely associated with Canadian coinage, and it remained unchanged on the 1976 nickel. Politically, Canada was also in the midst of discussions about its national identity. The official bilingualism policy was being fully implemented, and the Constitution Act of 1982 was still in the making, marking the beginning of a new chapter in Canadian sovereignty. The coin itself, while simple in design, was a reminder of the nation's values: hard work, resilience, and pride in Canadian wildlife and natural resources. Additionally, in the broader context of currency, the 19765-cent coin was produced as part of a larger issue of coins with consistent designs. It was a time when the Royal Canadian Mint was still producing coins with traditional metals, such as nickel, before later transitions to more cost-effective alloys in the years that followed. Historical context adds depth to the understanding of why the 19765-cent coin was important not only as currency, but also as a symbol of the times. Let me know if you want any further refinements. If you have one of these coins in your collection, let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to YEE Mara for more fascinating coin stories.